Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Sorry about that. Got my mouth full. Didn't want to be on the camera. Mouth full of toast. Well, yesterday, I should say, I got the injury report. It wasn't horrible, but it's not good. Terrion Arnold is not cleared from concussion protocol. Brian Vance was rested. Taylor Decker rested. Kirby Joseph still is not practicing, and we don't know his status for this week yet. And Panay Sewell was rested for his ankle. But we had a bunch of people coming off the IR and people who played in the game that had some injuries actually practiced. I saw it too. I'm waiting to hear from Dan Campbell. I think he said something about it yesterday. I didn't get to watch the presser yet. But Mark and Davenport's practicing, Graham Glasgow's practicing, Josh Pascal's practicing, Kate Ratliff, TJ, Isaac Tetzlaff, Leone Vacchi, and Brock Wright were all limited. The one, he said there was going to be a shakeup at the interior O-line, and I think it's because Miles Frazier is at a full practice now. We saw that Coyote and Tristan Colon were absolutely god-awful at guard. So I think we may see Miles Frazier this game. Leaf Raymond had cramping the last game. It was nothing major. Malcolm Rodriguez is back to full practice, and Jacob Sailors is back to full practice. As these guys start to come back and they come to the active roster, with how little he's utilized, you may see either Sloan or Awasika go down to the practice squad, or you may see a wave of Greg Reynolds. I think he could be the odd man out because his production has dropped. He doesn't look as good. He's not blocking as good. Not a bad injury. It was more of a rest day. I'll wait to see if he's on the injury report again tonight. I'm wondering how bad the concussion is with Terrion Arnold. But it has been interesting, to say the least. Other than that, the only thing we do know it is what he's saying. And like I said, until I hear it from out of Dan Campbell's mouth, I take a lot of those smaller articles that come from other places with a grain of salt because they've all said stuff and been wrong before. We got 17 people watching. Smoking Dad. Good to see you, Dad. Cousin Jody says hi. As in Barb and Dave's kid. She misses you, says she loves you. It is great to see everybody here. Laporta injury is a little concerning, but until I hear more, I got to hear it from the coaches. Not just from some article. Ivan, the interrupter. Bears fans should be cheering for the Lions to win as many games as they can the rest of the season. I agree. Because if you look who we're playing, it's mostly divisional opponents. We don't play them till week 18. So if we can win 5 out of the next 6 before we get to them, that's going to make that game mean more. But at the same time, the NFC North hate is real. It's hard to want to root for a team in the division unless they're playing against a rival you hate more. In the lesser of two evils this weekend, I'm going to hate to say it, it's Minnesota beating Green Bay, but I don't see it happening. Broski,
JB, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing good, rocking and rolling, doing the do.
Amen.
But
I got coffee. I'll have some when I leave.
nice. I always say that, but I'm just drinking strong coffee. But yeah, really wanted to get your take on something, man. I'm
What's that?
looking at games over the weekend, especially the Vikings Packers game. If JJ McCarthy could just play competent
Right.
and just not turn the ball over, that's a really tough matchup for the Packers.
Right.
Especially after seeing the
He needs his O-line
Vikings.
to protect them better too.
He does. Same could be said about Jordan Love, though. I don't know how good their O-line really is.
I mean, they had a
Not
decent
sure.
game versus the Giants, but it's the Giants. If you look at the teams
Yeah.
that created pressure on them, the Panthers, the Browns, and the Philadelphia, and the same said for the Lions, where we've had pressure on us is when Goff is bad this season.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I think the Vikings can take them this weekend, man. I really do. I think this is.
It really depends on the health of Jonathan Grenard to me, because they need that double-sided edge piece of Van Ginkel and Grenard to be successful on defense.
Yeah, that would definitely help. I do think Hargrave and Allen are going to put a lot of pressure on that backup center. The Packers have been trotting out there the past few weeks. Yeah, I think it could be a very interesting game. Like, I think it's going to be a dogfight. I really do. Granted, McCarthy doesn't just give the game away.
Or mean less. Yep. Because that game could mean less, because we've all said the Bears are coming into the harder part of their schedule. the Lions' schedule actually gets easier compared to the beginning part of it. Wouldn't you agree with that, Broski Bear?
Yeah, I
'Cause
looked. I looked at the rest. Yeah, no, I do. I do. I agree with that. Here's the thing for the Lions too. Like, just even if you just look at the next three games, I mean, okay, Giants, Packers, and Cowboys. I mean, they win those three games. You know, all of a sudden it's like they're back on track. Really curious to see how that Thanksgiving matchup is going to be. That should be a great game.
Mm-hmm. And
But that
it's home.
game though, yeah, I mean that game too. I got a feeling injuries are going to play a major factor in that game for both teams. So I'm curious to see what that
Well,
looks like going into the game.
like I said, compared to the beginning of the season when we've seen all these players come off the Lions roster, now players are coming back. I mean, granted, it's been slow, but slowly but surely we're getting these players back. And do I expect them to come out running week one? No. Do I expect them to be better than what we had out of the practice squad and backup players that's been filling their position? Yeah, because that's what you expect out of your starters, correct?
No, I hear you with that, man. For sure.
And it's the same with the Bears. They're getting healthier as they went along all season. They started out the season with some major injuries to the defense.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, this season could be a matter of the Bears and Lions getting healthy at the right time, and the Vikings and the Packers going in the other direction. Having injuries at the wrong time. So it's going to be interesting, man. There's no doubt in my mind about Aaron Rodgers this weekend. I mean, I would be absolutely shocked if he doesn't play this weekend. I'm really not even considering it, to tell you the truth.
But you know, you guys, who do you guys play this weekend? The
The
Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah.
Now, somebody tried to say that the Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-2 all time in Chicago, and I was like, "What? Yeah, no, they played hundreds of games versus Chicago because these are two of the older franchises." I think he meant under Tomlin.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can find out really quick.
I think it's under Tomlin because I'm pretty sure they played you more than 3 times in as long as the Bears and the Steelers have been in existence.
Steelers all-time record in Chicago. Okay, so by 1-2, he meant 1-12.
Yeah, he said 1-2. You know what I'm saying? On the
Yeah,
post.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, this guy's an idiot. I know they played more games than that. And even if they're 1 and
Mm,
12, you know, it's a different the difference is the teams that they played when they played them.
yeah, I'm seeing
And
a lot of weird.
I'll go there.
Yeah, and if we're going post 1960, the Steelers have a record of 1-6 versus the Bears on the road since 1960. So that's really, they haven't played that much in Chicago, considering it, I feel. But I can't really, I'd have to go back and verify. I'm just doing like quick searches. I'm not really, you know what I mean? Like digging into it to confirm, But anyway. One thing about those two teams, both teams are creating a lot of takeaways. Bears have
Yep,
22, Steelers have 18.
right. And as much as we haven't been getting as many turnovers lately, we don't turn over the ball a lot here in Detroit. There's been less fumbles this year. Goff hasn't thrown more than a pick in a game in forever since last season.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's huge. That's huge.
it is
You
huge.
know,
We're
I
still, I
mean,
think we're either second, third, or fourth in turnover differential right now,
yeah.
if I remember right.
No, you're correct. Because that's one thing I check every week. That's one of my key,
And also
like
point
team
differential.
indicators.
Point differential. I think it's what? Philadelphia and a couple others than us. I think we're fourth or fifth in point differential as
Yeah,
well.
Point differential too. I know the Bears aren't that good because honestly, they got blown out by 30 points by the Lions, so they're still suffering from that game. I feel, and all their games are
It's a
close anyway, and all their games are
right. Most
fucking
almost
1-2 point games anyway. So it's like,
the only
yeah,
thing that helped negate it was when you guys whooped up on the Cowboys. It took quite a few of those points away. But at the same time, you haven't blown out anybody else. It's all been
no,
close games, comebacks, and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. When you say close games, you're not kidding. We're talking last play of the game type stuff.
Yeah, where you
Um,
win by 3, 4, maybe 6 points at most.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not even trying to be a jerk. I'm just calling it like it is.
JB, well, try
At
harder.
defense,
Try harder.
last year, your defense was much better at keeping scores down last season.
I don't know, man. I'd have to go
Overall,
back
over
and look
over
at that.
over overall, you guys had a better point differential with less games won, is what I'm getting at, because your losses were all close games. Now you're winning those close games. That's a sign of success and that the team is growing. Have I seen Caleb make your receivers better yet? No. Have I seen him making better decision making? Yeah. It,
Yeah, I mean,
am I saying anything wrong there?
no, well, I would have to go back and just. I'm not again not trying to come at you any kind of way, but I would have to go back and look at the point totals from last year to see. But Caleb, yeah, I mean, work in progress, like big time. Like is he making better decisions overall? I think yes. Is he accurate and efficient enough yet? No. Is he to the point where he's like making other players better? I would say no. Well, that kid has a gun, man. The more I watch him, I'm like, dude, his arm's almost too strong. Holy crap, can he sling it? And one thing about him is he actually put on 12 pounds this offseason. I don't think many people talk about that. He's actually listed at 226 pounds now, standing at 6'1". This dude's stocky. And his lower
Yeah.
body, you could tell, did get stronger because, dude, he is really tough to bring down, man.
Menangai?
No, Caleb.
Okay. Yeah.
Caleb put on 12 pounds this offseason.
Good for him.
Dude, yeah. He's like a weight room dude, which I was surprised to find out about him after they drafted him. After I got over that
Yeah, I mean,
disappointment, like,
we're only one game away from being in either staying where we're at or being up at second. And people don't even realize it. It's not like we're behind by 4 games right now. You guys got 7 wins, we got
oh,
6.
I mean, Jeremy,
This
it's
division
dude,
is
roll the
still wide
dice.
open.
Yeah. And do you agree with this that the Vikings are the more desperate team in their matchup this week?
Yes,
They're more
and
desperate than the Packers.
desperate teams usually call for bigger games out of people you don't expect it from. I
For
think
sure.
Jordan Mason goes off this week, not Aaron Jones, because Aaron Jones has not been as good as advertised. And yeah, right now, being a Detroit sports fan is amazing. We had the Tigers go as far as they did in the playoffs. And right now, we got Pistons and Red Wings both leading their division.
Oh, really? Well, that's cool.
Ricky! Yeah, you think about it. I mean, it's crazy that Detroit sports is so high right now. And yes, I'm wearing my University of Michigan shirt. Why? Because they've only had 4 games vacated in their history of football for wins. Unlike USC and Michigan State, who have the 5th most overall at 14 after the latest sanctions against Michigan State football. Yeah, they survived a couple of teams. That Oakland game scared the dog snot out of me. I'm not going to lie.
I was going to say, college football is almost dead for me this season. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's been an awful year for a few teams. Miami, they've been more up and down.
I
Rumor
did
is
see that. What's that?
You go ahead first.
Yeah, I was going to say that with Penn State, they got the Franklin buyout down to $49 million. And then since he's going to Virginia Tech, now Virginia Tech's going to eat 40 of that $49 million. So Penn State's only going to have to pay $9 million of that enormous buyout.
Yep, it happens. You know, that's what people don't realize. If they're signed in the season, they're fired to another team. Oh, I'm sorry. I heard people saying they were scared of Oakland in that game. I hear you. I was just bringing it up because Michigan State was sanctioned bad.
Yeah, but man, there's you know, this. I've never seen so many openings. College football head coaches at major programs than there is going to be this offseason. Like, this is insane, JB. We got Penn State, we got LSU, we got Auburn, we got Florida, we got Oklahoma State, we got Oregon State, Virginia Tech just got filled. That's a lot of, in Stanford, I believe as well, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot of named programs out there, man.
It is big team program, and
yeah.
and everybody wanted a certain coach to come to Penn State, and didn't Matt Rule get extended, and that took him off the board right immediately?
Dude, they went so behind the scenes, like from what like several alumni who are on like their alumni group. I found out like they went at Matt Rule hard. Like they were actually really trying to pry him out of Nebraska. They didn't care. They wanted him, and Matt Rule said, "Nope, I'm staying here." So, yeah,
I hear you. It's crazy who's of it, what jobs are available, and how many guys are not wanted.
Well, you know what's crazy? These head coaches at these big programs now, especially in the SEC and Big Ten, dude, they're going to be making 13, 14, 15 million dollars a year. Like all these coaches who get signed, like whoever signs to coach LSU or Penn State, most likely Florida even, dude, they're going to be making like 15 mil a year, which is crazy. I mean, that's essentially what like NFL coaches get paid now.
Oh yeah. Paul Jones. I heard Penn State is going to go after Brian Hartline. I think that would be a good move for him. Brian Hartline was a coach that basically got sidelined at OSU forever.
Yeah.
And
well, Brian Hart, yeah. I mean, I always hope and dream that Stefanski gets fired by the Browns and decides to go coach Penn State. That's like my pipe dream. That's Broski's pipe dream right there. Because he's a Pennsylvania dude. He went to I think he went to St. Joe's Prep in Philly. He went to Penn. So yeah, he'd be going back to Pennsylvania to coach. Yeah, Brian Hartline though, man. You talk about a guy who's meant to coach, man. Look at his resume of wide receivers he's put out there at Ohio State, and then just look at him the last 2 or 3 seasons as offensive coordinator. Dude, like, hell of a job.
100%.
He would be a good hire.
I think it would be
actually bring him into this millennium.
The best hire since Joe Pop.
He would be. He honestly would. And shout out Bill O'Brien because he did a hell of a job.
Yep.
What's that, JB?
I only say Joe Pod because of his success with the team, not because of the stuff off the field.
Oh, yeah, man.
And we have to remember to put things in context. All of that stuff came out while he was in his retirement year, if you remember right. He announced he was going to retire after that season, and that's when all of that crap broke about him. And
yeah, I mean that was a dark. I mean, that was insane. That whole situation, for so many reasons, and like I was touching on about coaches, Bill O'Brien, honest to God, JB, I'm not exaggerating. One of the best coaching jobs between NFL and college I've ever seen anyone do was Bill O'Brien stepping into Penn State and not letting them die after all those sanctions. He did such an amazing job. I wish they could have kept him. He wanted to go back to the NFL. Obviously, he got a head coaching job. Why not? But man, did he keep that program from just getting flushed down the toilet completely. I'll always have respect for that guy for that.
Oh yeah. So that's basically the Lions news. We got some people coming back off of injury. It's great to see Miles Frazier at a full practice right now. I think that's awesome. Because he was Broski, we talked about him when the Lions drafted him during my draft show. You popped in that one on day 3.
Absolutely. I'm a
And you
fan.
said, "Man, this guy was supposed to be a second or third rounder. He wasn't supposed to fall this far." That you even said that's a steal for the Lions.
It wasn't still. He's like Donovan. He's like another Donovan Jackson, like the Ohio State kid that the Vikings drafted. He's like a plug and play, ready to go starter with high upside. And he was just, except for he was injured, obviously. But
Right.
yeah, he's gonna be great for you guys going forward. Like he'll be great for you guys.
He was good at the combine, but got injured at his pro day, if I remember right, during the shuttle drill or whatever it was they were doing, and that's when his
Was
knee
that
got
Miles
hurt.
Frazier?
Yeah, that was Miles Frazier, and he was supposedly healthy, and he came back and he practiced with us at the mini camps and the OTAs, and then he was hurt again.
Yeah, it was just a string of odd events with him.
Right.
Sure.
It wasn't anything that happened in game, is what I've been trying to get. He wasn't drafted as an injured player. As far
Exactly.
as injuries in the game, it happened when he was practicing for
Yes.
the pro day.
That's correct.
In a
Yeah.
non-contact incident. And it didn't require surgery, but it required lots of rehab because a sprain is actually worse than the tears for rehab. We've all heard this.
Yeah, I know. It definitely can be most of the time.
How many times have we heard that an ankle sprain is worse than breaking it?
Oh, a severe sprain. Yes, it absolutely.
Those grade 2 and 3 sprains, you go from a 6-week recovery time to 8 to 12 for the grade 2. If it's a grade 3, you're out for almost a season. Especially the high ankle sprains, because that puts strain on your Achilles, it puts strain on your calves. It does huge damage. I know, I've suffered one before.
Yeah, no, you're not kidding.
I had to have my one Achilles tendon sewn back together.
Did you really?
Yeah, May of 91, or maybe it was 1990. It was one of the two.
I was going to say, did you blow it out rushing the quarterback, or was it
No.
running the 40?
I was riding a bike in the middle of winter, had a pothole, my foot slipped off, and those old metal rat trap pedals went right through my Achilles tendon.
Back.
I was keeping in shape, but was riding on the road because it was snowy. When the Rams play the Cardinals, do you call it the St. Louis Bowl?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, man. Dude, I remember too when it used to be the St. Louis. What was it? The St. Louis Rams, right?
Paul
Or, I
Jones
mean, the St.
prepared
Louis
that show
Cardinals.
2 years ago before before you started following me. They were the St. Louis
Dude,
Cardinals first before they ever were the St. Louis
yeah.
Cardinals. Correct.
But yeah, Cardinals, Rams, like, dude, they used to brawl. Like the Bears and them used to brawl. Like preseason games. Like I just remember like the animosity between those two teams. Like no matter when they met. Like if it was preseason, regular season, I'm talking like bench clearing fights with these teams.
2 years ago, he just said it. Two drafts ago in Detroit, when I wanted us to take a center to be ready for Ragnow's retirement. How much better would the Lions be right now if we did that?
There's a couple good centers in this draft. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree.
I know.
JB,
I'm talking
JB.
about the centers that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
So
dude. I
Connor
wanted the
Beebe,
Bears to get one.
right?
Frazier in Pittsburgh. He was one of them, right? Or
Yep.
what is it? Yeah. And then you had that Michael Schmidt guy or whatever in the Giants. He was
Yep.
another good prospect. And I think there were a couple other guys too that like, you know what it was? It was there was a kid from Penn State who got drafted. There might have been, yeah, because he was CJ Stroud's starting center as a rookie. They were both rookies. Remember that? It was Stroud. It was a rookie quarterback, and he had a rookie center. But anyway, yeah, there's a couple of nice center prospects too, man. Can't
A
go wrong
swinging door
drafting a
isn't
center.
a swinging door isn't quite right. You know, want to know what he was that last game versus Philly? He was a revolving door on a whorehouse next to a naval base after payday. That's what he was.
Whoa, say that again.
Glasgow. He was a revolving door on a whorehouse next to a Navy base after payday.
Wow, there you go. Wow.
Yet both guards played bad next to him. Ratledge got hurt. Tristan Colon came in for a few snaps, and he was awful.
This is what I don't.
Fred, Cam Jurgens was actually drafted 3 years ago. He sat a year behind Kelsey. Kelsey retired and became the starter. Let's get it right. That was 3 seasons ago. I hear you. Paul Jones laughed at it. He loved it. It's his second year starting. Cam Jurgens is in his third year because he's the one that took over as soon as Kelsey retired 2 years ago. And that's why I said, if you got a guy in place, and I'm going back to 2 seasons ago when we didn't know then if Ragnow was going to retire or not, and then he came back to the training camp. Remember that, Broski? I said, if he's sitting out now and him on about coming back, we should draft a center this year. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Really nervous about the Bears in that regard because I've been saying it the whole year. They don't really have a backup center. Dahlman's been playing out of his mind, but they don't have a backup center. So it's like, guys, do me a favor this draft. Draft a center. Thank you. Like, I mean, JB, in my opinion, after quarterback, the most impactful loss on your team is a center.
Barton Beebe, Frazier, Powers Jackson, and Van Pran were all 2 years ago. Thank you, Ivan, for looking that up for me.
Okay, so that Michael John Schmidt or whatever, or John Michael Schmidt was another year.
Was either 2 years, the 2 years before, the year before or the year after. It was one or the other.
Yeah, I think he was the year before, actually. But yeah, there's some good centers in the draft, like that Polynesian kid at Oregon. He's like, dude, he's like a bowling ball, dude. He's like 6'2", like 330 pounds, but can move. Like seriously, like a bowling ball. The kid from Iowa is really good. Yeah, there's some centers in this draft too, man. From what I can tell so far, it's a solid draft for centers.
Right. There's a lot of junior and senior centers that are playing really well for certain teams. I'd say there's about 20 of them that are worth drafting. And you know what? Looking at the way that game was called versus Philly, I'm not going to say that Ben learned a lot from Dan Campbell with scheme wise, but he learned a lot with how to coach a team. Does that sound good to you, Broski, the way I worded it?
Oh, I didn't really see the comment. Ben Johnson always doing. He learned from the best.
Yeah,
I,
he learned
I,
about coaching
I
from Dan
definitely
Campbell,
think
but
there's things he learned from Campbell, but as far as play calling, I don't know, man. I think
I
they're
think
missing Ben Johnson. But
I,
but as far as being a head coach, I mean, there's a lot to learn for Ben Johnson still. And he admits it too.
oh,
It's
you
a lot
knew. Oh,
different.
okay. Thank you. I'm glad you knew. I didn't know off the top of my head because, I try to follow mostly Lions, but I knew that BB was one of them because I specifically mentioned him.
You
Because
know,
if
one
we
thing I
didn't,
like.
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, JB. I didn't mean. I thought you were finished, man. I didn't
I
mean to
know.
jump in.
If we wouldn't have traded up for Arnold, I wanted BB in 2 drafts ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing I like about Ben Johnson. I wasn't really aware of going into it. He's got like almost like borderline
Oh,
like serial killer vibes.
that
He's
should hurt
freaking
your feelings right there. That should hurt your feelings right here, broski.
no. What happened?
I'm
Prescott have
insulted.
taken
Bears
Dan
said his
Bryant out of
fans
Georgia.
ran out of Georgia instead of their punter. He was on the board.
Yeah, I mean, dude, get me started with Brian Poles. Like, get me started with his stuff. I'm like the only way that like brings me out of that is when I look at that GM for the Vikings, who's actually, oh, dude, he's a lot worse at drafting than Poles even. Like that Quessy guy, I don't know how he still has a job. DEI anyway. Yeah. Great. And you know that the Packers have that new, they brought in that new team president at the beginning of the year, Ed Policy.
And he's
I
done
mean,
really good with them.
dude, well, think about this, JB. What if the Packers don't make the playoffs or they make the playoffs and they lose their first game? You know,
People will turn on him the same way they
I,
turned on everybody else.
well, what about LaFleur? What I'm getting at is LaFleur really safe if, knowing they have a new team president now and fans are getting a little antsy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess we'll
I,
see, but I'm just throwing it out there.
oh man. Well, it is about time I start getting ready for work and look for something to eat because it's that time of day. Broski, you can be
JB,
found all over the Huddle Sports Network, right?
yeah, you hear me from time to time. Different shows on the huddle.
Right. Starting next week, for those of you that are watching from the Huddle side, please make sure you subscribe to my side because a few of us shows are going to stick to my side because I have more subscribers and are closer to being monetized, and we're trying to push for that. At almost 580, I'm a lot closer than 280. So we're
Okay.
trying to put in. We're going to try to monetize my channel because then we can all
Yeah,
get paid from it. Because I figured if you run a show and put it on my channel, you should get 60% of whatever I make off.
good stuff.
That's just how I feel. Yeah, because I'm not producing it, I'm not the one talking, but you're using my channel, so I want something.
I hear you.
I think it's a fair trade. What do you think, Broski?
I just hope it works out for you, man. You know,
Yep.
let's see
Well,
you get
because
over 1,000. Let's see you get over 1,000
yep,
so you can get monetized.
right. Because I already got the paperwork and I filled it out and I sent it in. I got the contract and I know that I have to go live once I hit 1,000. I have to go live into only one YouTube channel, so I might as well get used to it now. Because if you go live, you can share it to other channels after you're actually live. You know how you can go in and share afterwards, but you can't go live into multiple YouTube channels.
Okay. All right, brother man. Well, good catching up with you.
All right. Well, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. And just for you, broski, we're going to go bottom to top for the sponsors. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
In last place, there's Skullfuck. In third place, we took an L.
Oh, wow.
In second place, it's FT. Bucket Pack. And in first place for the first time since what, 2018? At any point in any season? It's what? The Bear.
Well, let's see how long Bears can stay on top, man.
Yeah. We gotta have fun with the NFC North 8, and that's how I do it. Is with doing that. It's fun. You know, I don't hate fan bases. I don't hate the other teams unless it's war week. You know how I am, bro. Yeah, I'm not the shit talker. I talk stats most of the time.
I understand, JB. You're a knowledgeable Lions fan.
I appreciate that. I try to be. You're a very knowledgeable Chicago Bears fan, and you also know college. We were able to talk college ball, but like I said, when your team started checking out on James Franklin, you checked out too.
Well, see how this rest of this. We'll see how these games play out this weekend, man.
Yeah, I think it should be fun.
Yeah, you guys should curb stomp the Giants. Honestly, you really should. So, anywho,
well, thanks
we'll
for
catch up
watching,
again
everybody.
soon.
Oh yeah, I'll be live tomorrow with BA. You're more than welcome to join us.
Appreciate it, JB.
All right, have a great day, everybody.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.